What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2025 Ford Maverick Tremor. Huge thank you to Greg Williams over at Koons Sterling Ford here in Sterling, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you're interested in this particular Maverick or any Ford product, then I'll be sure to have Greg's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, well, just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2025 Ford Maverick Tremor, and this particular one's been painted in the optional $495 Azure Gray Metallic. I wanted to preface this video by saying for 2025, the Maverick was refreshed inside and out with updated exterior looks, a modernized interior, new trims like the Tremor and the Lobo, and more features. But as standard with the Tremor, you get LED projector headlights with automatic high beams, as well as LED daytime running lights, standard turn signals, and black headlight bezels. One thing that's pretty cool is that both at the top of your hood and then running along the sides of the Tremor, you get the Tremor decals. I think they look pretty sweet. Again, that is subjective. If you don't like them, you can peel them off. They are made out of vinyl, just like a vinyl wrap. But you can see, you get the satin black front grille with the Tremor orange accent colored grille bars. You can see Ford logo located at the center of the grille, and it is black with the white script. Just beneath it, you have your forward-facing camera, and that is because the top dog Tremor gets a 360-degree view camera system as standard. And speaking of safety features, you also get 4 forward-facing sensors as well. Now, coming down just a little bit, you can see you get that satin black lower fascia with the 2 Tremor orange tow hooks. You also get an underbody skid plate to protect your oil pan, and the Tremor gets 9.1 inches of ground clearance, which is nearly an inch higher than all the other trim levels and quite a bit higher than the Lobo, which is actually lowered than all the other Maverick trim levels. Now, to summarize the refresh of the 2025 Maverick, I think this thing looks like a baby Ranger. It's got the very similar light design up here at the front end, as well as just like that bumper design that you would find on the Ford Ranger. I think it looks great. I think it looks better, honestly, than the 2024 and below Mavericks. Ford, you did a great job here with the refresh. I'm a fan of it. You can let me know your opinions on that in the comment section down below. So again, this one being the off-road trim level, you do get the off-road tuned suspension, as well as these 17-inch gray wheels with the orange pockets, and the wheels are wrapped in 235/65 Goodyear Territory RT all-terrain tires. I'll give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here real quick, and then I'll also throw the price of a set of these on screen now as well. Now, when I was walking around the parking lot choosing which vehicles to do videos with, I did an Explorer ST, and this one caught my attention, because of the color, but also I took a look at the tires. The tires look ultra aggressive here in person, and I don't know, I think it looks like a sweet little truck. You know, it's rugged, but it's also, you know, a baby truck, which is kind of cool. You can see satin black fenders with the Tremor orange accent lettering. Also, you get the gloss black mirror caps, and that's standard. These side view mirrors are heated, manual folding. You will get your blind spot monitoring on the upper left-hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the upper right-hand side of your passenger side mirror. And then also, you get cameras at the bottom of both of your side view mirrors, and those cameras work with your 360-degree view camera system. Taking a few steps back, here is a side profile shot of this thing. You can see you get the satin black window trim. You get body color door handles with keyless access. Just keep in mind, however, the keyless access function is only on the front 2 door handles. The rear 2 door handles do not get the keyless access function. And like I mentioned when we were talking about the hood, you also get the body side graphics at the bottom of all of the doors. Working my way to the bedside, you can see you have your fuel door. Press on it, it will open up, reveals your capless filler neck, and 87 octane will do you just fine. Up top here, you get the satin black antenna. You also have your 3rd brake light, followed by your 2 halogen cargo lights. You get the power sliding rear view window, as well as a rear window defroster. Coming around back, you can see you get the bedside orange Tremor badging. Here's a rear 3/4 shot of this thing. LED combination taillights come standard. Taking a few steps to the right, here is a little booty shot of this thing. Just like the front, you also get the black Ford logo with the white script, and then beneath that, backup camera, Maverick stamped into the tailgate, Tremor badge on the lower right hand side of the tailgate itself. Clicking on this, you do not get a dampened tailgate. It slams open, and then you get a decent amount of storage space back here. You can see you get those sliders there. I don't remember what those are for exactly, but you get the flex bed storage, which is a little storage cubby. You could set maybe a measuring tape, some gloves, stuff like that right there. And then you also get a 120 volt household power outlet on the left hand side of the bed, followed by an LED cargo light. And as mentioned, you also get those 2 halogen lights up top there. And I don't know what is behind here, but it says a 12 volt DC outlet. I just having a hard time kind of opening this up. I guess you can see it right there. I don't want to pull it out, but anyways, you can also see spray in bed liner. Closing that back up, it almost like locks up before you close the lift gate. It's kind of an interesting little thing, but we're going to finish things off here at the rear end. So you get the satin black rear bumper with the 4 integrated parking sensors. You also get the trailer hitch with the 4-pin connector to the left of it. You can see that there. You get a max tow capacity of 4,000 pounds, and this one being the Tremor, you get the twin clutch rear drive unit with the electronic rear diff locker, so make it a little bit more capable off-road. And overall, I think this is a pretty sweet looking truck. I mean, you get great fuel economy. It probably does pretty well off-road. I haven't taken one, off-road, but from personal experience, I have a 2007 Silverado, and it is obviously it's 4-wheel drive, but it's rear-wheel drive most of the time. And we got like probably 7 inches of snow, 8 inches of snow, and I was struggling to get in the driveway. Again, it's an 8-foot bed, 2,500, but then I also have a Honda Ridgeline with all-wheel drive. And the Ridgeline, even with the Silverado being in 4-wheel drive, the Ridgeline just runs circles around it in the snow. The Ridgeline is so much better than the Silverado, even in 4-wheel drive. And I'm assuming that this thing would probably be pretty darn good in the snow as well. But anyways, with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals the 2-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder that produces 250 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in about 6 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 21 miles per gallon in the city, 27 miles per gallon on the highway for 23 miles per gallon combined with all-wheel drive. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Have you guys driven a heavy-duty truck or even a half-ton truck and then driven something like this or a Honda Ridgeline and noticed that the Ridgeline or the Maverick was actually better off-road or in the snow as compared to like the half-ton or the 3/4 ton? Let me know your thoughts, or excuse me, your experiences in the comments down below. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Those 3 things look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm. Not only do I post review videos, I also do build series with my C6 Corvette Z06, cammed Camaro SS, and my Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. And also, if you guys want to see behind the scenes of the reviews as well as, playing with my own cars, follow me on Instagram and TikTok at 703speed. But anyways, with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, as mentioned earlier, you get keyless access as standard. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and it will unlock. You can also lock it if you run your finger across those little ridges there, and it will lock back up. This is what the key fob looks like. It's satin black with the satin chrome buttons, and going over the functions on it, starting from the top, you have your unlock function, your lock function, your remote start function, and your panic function. If you wanted to remote start this, all you have to do is lock it, press this button twice, and she'll fire up. And that is what it sounds like being fired up from the exterior's perspective. Now, I believe this is the only interior color option you can choose from, and it is the black onyx with orange accent synthetic leather. We'll get more into that here in a second. I want to start on the driver door panel. So a lot of the door panel is like this blue plastic. You have your unlock and your lock functions, a nicely padded armrest, power side view mirror controls here. That button is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. You get automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners. I just did a video with the $61,000 Explorer ST, and that only had the automatic up and down windows in the front. You also get a water bottle holder, some miscellaneous storage space, and as standard with this thing, you get an 8-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system with a subwoofer. Here's another look at these front seats. So as standard, you get an 8-way power driver seat with 2-way power lumbar, and you also get a 6-way manually adjustable front passenger seat. Also as standard, you get heated front seats and a heated steering wheel. Now we're gonna step into the interior of this thing. You get a built Ford Tough stamp there. I'm gonna close the door, take a listen. And now we're gonna push to start. We're gonna get full access here into the interior. So now I'm just gonna walk you throughout the entire interior, starting over here. So you can see you get a front defroster. You get the HVAC vent with the Tremor orange accent color. Coming down a little bit more, that is to turn your cargo lights on. You have your headlight controls here. And these 2 buttons are to brighten and or dim your backlit buttons. On the side of the steering wheel, you flip that down. That gives you access into the manual tilt and telescope wheel. You can bring it down and up, and it also goes forwards and backwards. Once you find your comfortable position, you just lock it right back into place. And now, let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like here on the Tremor. Not only is it the turn signal control stock, it is also the high beam control stock as well. Zooming back out, I'm not 100% sure if this is leather. It doesn't feel like 100% leather. It feels kind of like a synthetic leather, but anyways, you get a wrapped steering wheel. As mentioned, it is heated, 1 level of adjustability, orange accent colored stitching, and then you also get the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters as well. Once this little go-kart thing goes by, I will honk the horn so you get a feel for how that sounds. On the left-hand side of the steering wheel, here are your adaptive cruise control settings. So this thing does come standard with adaptive cruise, lane keep, stuff like that. That is where the driver assistance features are. Like any other vehicle, horn at the center, take a listen. That is what the horn sounds like. I noticed the horn was like right there, so it's actually like kind of loud in here when you honk the horn. And then you have your volume controls down here. On the right hand side of the steering wheel, if you press that, you can tell the vehicle to turn the driver heated seat on, turn the driver heated seat off, HVAC system to 68 degrees, stuff like that. And if you're connected to Apple CarPlay, you press and hold on that, that will pop open Siri. And then these 2 controls here, to go backwards on a track, that also doubles as picking up on a phone call. That is to go forwards on a track, and it also doubles as hanging up on a phone call. Now you have these controls up top here. These 2 controls in particular are to switch you between your different drive modes. So all the way to the left, you have your slippery mode. Then to the right, you have your eco mode. Then you have your normal mode. Then you have your sport mode. Then you have your tow haul mode. And all the way to the right, you have your off-road mode. So I'm gonna go back here into drive. But these other features like this and these 2 buttons here are all for your 8-inch productivity screen located at the center of the dash. Then you get your coolant temperature gauge, you have your fuel gauge there, and we're gonna go throughout the center screen now. So compass at the center, digital speedometer readout, then you got your speed limit sign. That right there is your fuel range, transmission status stuff, ambient exterior temperature, and your odometer. Again, to control that screen, you have this OK button. So I'm gonna go all the way to the top. So you either have your seatbelt stuff, click down 1, then you have your off-road status that shows you your pitch and roll stuff, as well as your steering degree angle, which is what is right there, like 1 degree. You can see that. And then if you wanted to control more, you click this button. That brings you into this screen. So you can see your My View stuff. You can go into your trip and fuel information here. Then you also, if you click on that, you get the towing information, status information being like seatbelt stuff, and off-road status like I showed you. Then you got your vehicle maintenance stuff, oil life, tire pressure stuff. Click down a little bit more, you get your audio stuff, your phone stuff, your navigation stuff, and your settings. Settings being like your screen content. You can go into secondary speedometer, left gauge, none, set to that. Or you can go into here, you can go into classic view, or you can go into round speedometer gauge. So we'll see what that looks like. I'm gonna go back out of that. So that is the other screen that you can go throughout there. Up top here, you get some storage space. And beneath that, this and this are both new for 2025, and you now get, in the Tremor, the Sync 4 13.2-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. This is what the screen looks like. If you click the home button, you're gonna see you have your navigation stuff there. Then you have your audio stuff, you have your current device stuff, and then over here you have your settings. So you can pop open the settings. I always like to show the vehicle settings here. You can see all of the different vehicle settings that you can go throughout. This does have ambient lighting. Basically, you can just adjust the brightness of it. It is a white ambient light. And then you also have some vehicle settings over here. Did I already go through that? You have your general settings, I meant to say. So you have all of that different stuff. Swipe over, and then you can see all the other things that you can see on the screen. It is a split screen, so you can go in between off-road stuff. I don't know why it went that way. It always seems a little glitchy here. Anyways, you got your navigation stuff, phone stuff, trip one stuff, fuel economy stuff. And then at the bottom of the screen, you can see you have all of your different climate control stuff. So heated seat button there, heated seat button over there. When you click the heated seat button, it brings you into kind of this screen. You can just immediately click it off. That is your heated steering wheel button. And then this is your Apple CarPlay screen. So we are in full screen Apple CarPlay. If I click that, it's going to now put the split screen setup. I personally like the full screen Apple CarPlay. Very easy to use if you guys have ever driven a newer F-150. It's the same exact system as the 2023 or maybe even 2022 and up F-150s. But this is new. So this is always at the bottom of your screen. This is your climate control stuff. You click this right here, it's gonna pop up your climate control system on the screen. You get your temperature control there for the driver, temperature control there for the passenger, dual zone automatic climate control standard. And then this button right here is to turn your heated side view mirrors on. You're always gonna have that fan speed button. One thing I wish that Ford, and they did this across the line with the new Escape, Maverick, the Explorer, they all have these climate control stuff throughout the screen. I really wish that they would also incorporate physical climate controls, but they don't. 2 HVAC vents, passenger airbag on or off. You get your physical volume control knob. That is to go backwards on a track, forwards on a track, pop up your 360-degree view camera system. That is your hazard button, max front defroster, and then this is your auto hold function. So if you click this button right here, the vehicle will then hold you in place by itself with its braking system. It is nice for when you are stuck in traffic. And then all you got to do is hit the accelerator and it will begin to go forward again. Then you have your push button start button. You get a 12-volt power outlet. This is your power sliding rear window. So push against it, it'll open up, pull against it, and it will close that rear window. Then you get a USB-C port. You also get a USB-A port. And as standard with this thing, you get a wireless charging pad. So this is an iPhone 14 Pro Max, one of the bigger phones on the market, and it does fit in the wireless charging pad. And I believe it lets you know up top here, see that battery with the lightning bolt? That is letting you know that there is a phone in the wireless charging pad. And then to the right of that, you get some storage space there. You can also sit your phone down in there like that, so you can kind of read it if something pops up on the screen. Get the 2 cup holders. You have your transmission dial here. So if you go into drive and you click M, that is going to put you into manual mode, and then you can control the transmission with the paddle shifters here on the steering wheel. 2 cup holders, a little bit of storage space. You could set a key fob. Electronic parking brake. To disengage the parking brake, you push against the brake, push against that, and the parking brake will disengage. Over here, that is to turn traction control system on or off. This is like your 4-wheel drive lock, because this is front wheel drive biased. That is to lock your rear diff. This is to put you into your 1-pedal drive system. Basically, you could just go down a path or like a trail with just the accelerator. And then that is to turn auto stop start on or off. You get some storage space. You get a padded armrest here. Opening this up and taking a look at what we got going on down in there. No connectivity. We're going to see the dimensions of this down in there. I got my Milwaukee tape measure here. It's about 9 inches deep, followed by about 7.5 inches from here to here. And then width-wise, let's see. We're looking at about, looks like 5.5 inches, about 6 inches there. So about 6 inches from this way to this way. So decent amount of storage space down in there. If you guys like the tape measure aspect of this video, let me know in the comments down below. Type in Milwaukee if you guys are sticking around to this part of the video. Helps engagement. And then on this side, you can see you have your glove box. quite a bit of storage space down in there. It is not lockable. I love these seats. I love the Tremor actually stitched into the seat back. I think that looks really sweet. One thing that they did away with the adjustable headrest. I hate that. Standard rearview mirror. You have your lights up top here are both LED. When this is flush, when you open up the doors, the interior lights will turn on. If you click it to the right, the interior lights will not turn on when you open up the door. And then clicking it to the left is your instant dome light on button. It's going to turn on all the interior dome lights. Then you get a sunglass holder up top here. You get a spot you can set any small little paper product on both of your visors. Opening this up, you get a vanity mirror, 2 vanity lights, and another spot you could set any small paper product. And then do these slide in and out? They do. So when the sun is in those awkward positions, boom. And really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on in the front seats. I mean, I think these seats are super, super comfortable, and I think they look pretty sweet as well. Now I'm just going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at everything that you get as standard. I do want to also throw up the Ford Copilot 360 Assist 2.0, everything that you get with that, so you're kind of familiar with all the safety features that this vehicle has. One optional feature you could consider getting is the $995 sunroof. That's a nice feature I probably would want. But anyways, as this one is spec'd, the 2025 Maverick Tremor, this one has been spec'd to $42,285. That is the MSRP of this vehicle. I do want to show you what we got going on in the rear before moving into the driving portion of the video. So, taking a look at the rear door. Automatic up and down, if you can remember. Windows go all the way down. Nicely padded armrest, some storage space for some cup holders and stuff like that, cups and stuff like that. I do believe that these fold up, so I believe because this is over there, might make it a little bit difficult to fold up, but I do know, I'm pretty sure anyway, that these seats fold up. Okay, you gotta pull on this. I knew they did. All right. So you got your storage space down under there. I apologize about the lighting, but there's actually quite a bit of storage space down underneath there for jumper cables, maybe even some shoes, maybe some boots, stuff like that will fit down under there. You get 2 cup holders as well as a nicely padded armrest. And then sitting in these rear seats, 5'9", adjusted behind myself, I've got quite a bit of knee-end legroom. Another view of the knee-end legroom. Headroom being 5'9", plenty of that left over. Then on the driver's side, O-Poop handle and a spot you can sit your dry cleaning. You get the same stuff over there on the passenger side. You get seat back pockets behind both the driver and the front passenger seat. And then down here, sorry, GoPro is terrible in the low light. You get 2 USB-C ports as well as a 120-volt household power outlet to the right of that. And then last but not least, you can see this little thing right here. That is so you can get an accessory from Ford, stick that down in there, and you get an additional 2 cup holders. But really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on in the interior of this thing. So, you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of this thing. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video. Take a listen. Got good acceleration. I mean, is it gonna blow your socks off? No. Today, I guess this is my first unintentional night drive, so you guys will kind of be able to experience what this thing is like to drive at night. All the interior components lit up. You can see some ambient lighting right down in there, right over there. You can see the nice screen. I'm gonna kind of adjust the brightness of some stuff here, kind of dim it down a little bit, so to about right there. Okay, well, that's nice. Brightening and dimming is also including the infotainment system, so that's nice. Makes it very easy rather than having to go throughout the screen to brighten and dim stuff. So I definitely like that. Here's a little acceleration. Turbo makes some nice noise. I mean, you can definitely hear it. I'm not sure, I doubt that you'll be able to hear it on video, but when I'm getting on it and I'm letting off the throttle, it kind of winds up. You can hear it, and then I let off, it goes like whoosh. So I always like to hear a little bit of turbo whistle when I'm driving some vehicles. So just a really nice truck. I mean, it's fun, for what it is. I feel like it would actually do pretty decent off-road. As mentioned, I have a Honda Ridgeline, and that truck does, or that car, whatever you want to say, does better in the snow than my Silverado 2500 four-wheel drive. I feel like it's just the all-wheel drive system is just much better than the four-wheel drive system, and this is all-wheel drive. It's not you know, your conventional four-wheel drive system. Take a listen to what it sounds like cruising at about 50 miles an hour going over these bridge joints. Take a listen to the road and the wind noise. This thing does have some beefy tires on it. I can kind of hear the tires. I feel like if these tires wore down, I feel like they would get kind of loud. But you know, but them being new, it's not too bad. You can definitely hear them a little bit though. But yeah, I mean, what do you expect? They're pretty aggressive tire on this thing. One thing I do like about this is it was completely out of gas when I started driving it. I mean, it said 0 miles until empty, and I put about $10 in it, and it gave me 70 miles of range. So, you know, I thought that was pretty good. If I put, you know, 10 bucks in my Camaro, I might be able to go 30 miles. But if $10, you're like, oh, only 70 miles, well, you can't get it in the Tremor, but you can get it on some of the lower trim levels. You can get the hybrid. And now the hybrid for 2025 now comes with, or you can get all-wheel drive. Whereas on the 2024 and below models, the hybrid only came with front-wheel drive. So now for 2025, you can now get all-wheel drive with the hybrid, which is definitely nice. I don't see why. I mean, I guess I kind of could see why it only came with front-wheel drive, but I feel like they're going to sell quite a few more hybrids now that you can get the hybrid with all-wheel drive. I think that's big. But, you know, I was going to say, I think I would probably still choose the 2-liter EcoBoost. It's definitely more powerful than the hybrid, but if you're just trying to get, you know, I don't even know why you'd be watching this video if you'd be getting a hybrid, because you cannot get the Tremor in a hybrid. You can only get the 2-liter EcoBoost with the Tremor. So, you know, if you're kind of cross-shopping the Tremor with a couple of the other trim levels, you know, if you're looking really looking for fuel economy, then the hybrid's the way to go. But if you're looking for a little more pep, then the 2-liter EcoBoost is the way to go. And I would choose the 2-liter EcoBoost personally. The sound system is pretty decent in this. It's got the 8-speaker Bang & Olufsen. That does include a subwoofer. But I just got out of doing a video with an Explorer ST that had the 14-speaker Bang & Olufsen, including the sub in that system. That was the best sounding Bang & Olufsen sound system that I've ever heard. You know, I usually complain about the Bang & Olufsen sound systems not being loud enough. And this one, it's not really loud enough. You know, I mean, at least for me. You know, certain people, it's like, oh man, it's plenty loud. For me, sometimes I like to really crank my music, like loud, and this just doesn't get loud enough for me. Sometimes, you know, for the majority of the time, it's totally fine. But then there's a couple of times where you really just want to crank some music. I really just feel like they Bang & Olufsen across the board. It's the same thing with the F-150s and stuff. It's not loud enough. So that's one of my gripes about the sound system. But I mean, the way that this thing drives, it's going to be a little bit more body roll with this as compared to like the Lariat, for example, and that's just because this one sits a little bit higher. It's also got, you know, off-road tires, not so much street tires, though these are still street tires. It's just going to be a little bit more clumsy than the Lariat or than the XLT. And if you're really looking for, you know, a peppy driving experience with the Maverick, I know this is like the total opposite of the Tremor. Take a look at the Lobo. The Lobo is new for 2025, and it is lowered. So it's lowered, sits on some nice wheels. So if you're looking for a really peppy Maverick that, you know, handles better than this, the Lobo is the one that you're going to want to get. So now I'm in normal mode. I'm gonna floor it. This thing is really powerful. Like, it really does not feel slow by any means. So if you guys want that pep behind the throttle, you're gonna have to get the 2-liter EcoBoost, and I would really like to test one of these things out off-road because I truly do believe that it would do great. I mean, most of you guys are probably not gonna be off-roading this a ton. You just kind of like the look of it, which I understand, I do too. It's a great vehicle. So if you're kind of on the fence of one of these, you're like, do I really want that? Do I want a Ridgeline? Do I want a 1500? I would say you should go out and test drive this thing, because I think it's going to be better. If you've never test driven one, it's going to be better than you thought it was. You know, it's not going to be super fancy here on the interior. The touch points up top here, kind of cheap feeling, but if you're just going for that truck rugged vibe that gets good fuel economy, that's small, compact, you can drive it in the city, this is a great little truck. So that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Liking, commenting, and subscribing look very good for my channel and the YouTube algorithm. It drives engagement, which helps me grow, helps me do this, and you know, helps me get closer to my dreams. Also, not only do I post review videos, I also do build videos with my own personal cars. I got a Z06, a cammed Camaro, and a 1974 Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. So if any of those cars pique your interest, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and then also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at 703speed. I do more personal stuff on Instagram and TikTok, and I also do some behind the scenes, and I also do 1-minute reviews on there as well. So if this video is a little bit long, you can go out. I made a 1-minute review of this thing, so you should go check that out. Instagram, TikTok. That's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.